What's up, everybody? Today we are talking about small budgets versus big budgets and 5 reasons why these are exactly the same. So the first of the 5 facets I want to talk about that make things similar from a small budget to big budget is obviously your budget. That is one misconception where having a bigger budget will make things easier. You're always up against that, no matter what the production. When you have $50, $100, or even $500 or whatever, when you have problems that arise, you literally can't buy your way out of them. So you have to get creative and you have to adjust your concept or fix things or change things. And sometimes those changes can make your project better because it forces you to be creative, to look at things from a different angle without spending money. But I think the bottom line is you're still faced with the same problems of like not having enough money to do what you want to do. And that really happens at $50, $500, and $50,000 or more. The experience you're gaining trying to stretch that last dollar out of the $50 you and your buddies put together to make a video is exactly the same at a big level. So that doesn't change. So the second thing is crew. So I think there's one assumption that when you get more crew, it's gonna be easier because obviously you have more hands, you have more help, and it's gonna be a lot easier. So normally, when you start, you're having a buddy or two, you're communicating with your friends with like where to move a light or how to dress someone or whatever the case may be. That dynamic is exactly the same whether you have 2 of your buddies or you have 50 people you've never met. You still have to be able to communicate effectively to all the people on your crew, whether that's again 2 people or 50. And I think that's a thing that you are getting experience at now that is applicable later as your crew and budgets grow. Number 3, so the third facet on why things are the same with small budgets and big budgets is creative. So let's imagine your first job with somebody who wants to do a video. They've never done it. They're changing their mind nonstop. Like we've all dealt with that type of client before. We think that as we grow and we work on bigger and bigger jobs, that the creative will get refined and it'll be more concise and people will know exactly what they want. The truth of the matter is they really don't. Because a part of the problem is when you get into bigger jobs, there's more cooks in the kitchen. So now instead of it's like one guy, a music video or say, like a small business wants to do a video or whatever, right? There's one person trying to figure that out. But when you get to an ad agency, there's literally 50 people contributing to the idea that you're supposed to execute. And the difficulties of dealing with 50 people is exactly the same as dealing with one person that can't make up their mind. So the fourth facet that is similar as you grow in your career is communication. So I think another thing that we think that when we grow in our career and we have more professional jobs and deal with more professional people, that people are actually better at communicating at a professional level. Well, the truth is, they're not. So much like creative, how you're dealing with the same issues with creative, you're dealing with the exact same issues with communication. So sometimes your one friend that you're working with is hard to get a hold of, or they can't express what they want. The exact same issues occur for bigger budgets. It's your job decoding one guy's, insight or what he has in his mind, or 50 people at an ad agency. But the communication dynamic stays the same as you grow in your career. So the fifth thing that stays the same throughout your career from a small production to a big production is the ability to think quick on your feet. That's a skill that you are gaining as you are running out with your friends, shooting a little video, and also in a bigger production with, say, 100 crew or whatever. When you're at this higher level with a big budget, you're faced with challenges that you've never been faced with before. And you'll be forced to think of a solution very quickly and efficiently. That skill never changes and never goes away, right? Right. So I think that, with respect to budgets, your crew, creative, communication, and thinking quickly on your feet, these are 5 things that do not change throughout your career. And I think those are big facets of directing. Those are like some major components. So I think it's really valuable to recognize the experience that you're gaining today, whether you're doing tiny jobs with no budget or really little jobs, really can apply to your career later. So the experience you're gaining is super valuable. The skill set that you're developing, I think there's a tendency to think that it's gonna change and be different, but it really isn't. All the skills you're learning today are valuable, and you should go out and shoot and make more cool shit and send it to me because I wanna see it. If you have any tips or tips. If you have anything that you think is the same or is totally different, I'd love to know about it. So comment below in the comments and let me know what you think. And if there's anything else you want to hear about directing, either starting out or at a bigger production, anything at all, let me know. And subscribe because I got more videos like this coming. And that's it. Peace.